Within just one generation, Samsung made quite a lot of changes to their flagshipest of flagship smartphones. I'm talking about the leap from the Galaxy S21 Ultra to the new Galaxy S22 Ultra. They obviously look different, but there are a lot of minor changes too. So in today's video, let's take a look at what has changed. Before we go into anything, we need to clarify this first. The Galaxy S21 Ultra that we have here is the Exynos 2100 variant, whereas the Galaxy S22 Ultra is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 version. The reason why we didn't sync up Exynos versus Exynos and Snapdragon versus Snapdragon is that I'm going into this by walking into the same shoes as any other Malaysians. Everything that I show here is or was available in the retail market with official local warranty. So let's start off by talking about the aesthetics first. I'm sure many of you already know that the Galaxy S22 Ultra is essentially a Note at heart. I've gone into detail about the design of the Galaxy S22 Ultra in our review, so check that out instead. One thing I'll highlight again is that the new, more elegant 5-circle camera bump on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, it doesn't rock as much on the table as the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Another difference in the design is actually the colors available. For many parts of the world, there were only two colors available for both the Galaxy S20 Ultra and also the Galaxy S21 Ultra. It's only either black or white. I think Samsung played it a little bit too safe. Eventually, Samsung opened up a little bit more and they did have more color choices for their premium smartphones. And I think they are much more playful right now with the new burgundy and also the green color on top of the usual Phantom Black and Phantom White. And looking through our comments for the Galaxy S22 Ultra review, many of you picked either the green or burgundy color too. Then comes the differences in terms of the screens. I want to quickly highlight the difference between the maximum brightness of these two phones first. The data shown on the screen here was taken 1 year ago for the Galaxy S21 Ultra when it was just launched. The reason why I did that instead of taking a brand new reading is because the Galaxy S21 Ultra, it has been my daily driver for last year, so I think the OLED panel might have deteriorated a little bit, so we'll use back last year's data. As you can see, the maximum brightness of the Galaxy S21 Ultra is somewhere about 416 nits at maximum average brightness, and since there's no extra brightness option like the Galaxy S22 Ultra, this is the absolute maximum. However, the Galaxy S22 Ultra has two tiers in terms of its maximum brightness. So the first one is at about 368 nits, and then if we head into the settings menu, enable manual brightness and set it to extra brightness, we can go beyond 750 nits of brightness, which is insanely bright. And realistically speaking, these brightness levels are rarely utilized except for during broad daylight. What I also want to point out is Samsung's exclusion of a pre-installed screen protector on their smartphones. When we reviewed Samsung phones in the year 2021, that includes both the Galaxy S21 Ultra and also the Galaxy Z Fold 3. There was a pre-installed screen protector on the device itself out of the box. However, I realized that when we did our review for the Galaxy S21 FE, there was no pre-installed screen protector. I thought I was insane, but nope, Samsung didn't include any screen protectors for the Galaxy S22 series too. Maybe Samsung just realized a lot of people are gonna yank it out right away anyway, so why bother putting on a pre-installed screen protector? With that said, finding a screen protector for these two phones right here is gonna be difficult since they are curved around the sides. Tempered glass screen protectors are quite impossible on these displays unless the manufacturer also provides you a jig to aid in the installation process. And you'll also most probably need those UV curing adhesive, which I don't recommend since it's very messy. My best recommendation for you if you buy these phones and you want a screen protector is to get those either hydrogel or film type of screen protectors. They are easily damaged, but they are very cheap, so just buy a bulk of them and just change out every 2 months or so, then your display will always look pristine. And of course, we'll have to talk about the S Pen too. I won't go in depth about the technicalities and responsiveness and whatnot, because if you want to know that, then check out our review of the Galaxy S22 Ultra. What I want to focus here is the usability of the S Pen, as in to bring it around. As you know, the Galaxy S21 Ultra's S Pen was sold separately. You can get the S Pen alone and have nowhere to carry it, or you can buy the bundle, which includes a rubbery case that deteriorated after like 3 months of usage into its lifespan. But it does have a slot for you to carry the S Pen along with the phone. For the Galaxy S22 Ultra, the S Pen goes inside the phone's body, which means you'll never lose it. And the Galaxy S22's S Pen, since it's connected to the phone via Bluetooth Low Energy or BLE for short, they have some sort of presence detection, so the phone will beep if it gets too far away from the S Pen. And since the S Pen is connected via BLE, then you can also use the Magic Wand feature too, which is something that I really like since the Galaxy Note 9 series of smartphones. That is extremely relevant nowadays too, since the Galaxy S22 Ultra's camera are so good and you can just get a tripod and utilize that camera to its full extent. However, that also means the Galaxy S22 Ultra's S Pen will need to be thinner to fit inside the phone. That is why we have a much more slender, space-efficient S Pen for the Galaxy S22 Ultra, which is just not so comfortable to use for an extended period of time. On the flip side, the Galaxy S21 Ultra's S Pen is a separate accessory anyway, so that design of that S Pen can be thicker, bigger, and hence much more comfortable to hold. But we don't have the Magic Wand feature. There is no clear winner between these two phones' S Pen, unfortunately. I personally prefer the Galaxy S22 Ultra solution since the S Pen is inside the body and I can quickly grab it if I just want to make some quick drawings or sketches or something like that, and it is also very useful to take pictures as a remote shutter. So let's jump right in and talk about the cameras now. I'm sure this is what many of you guys are looking forward to. The configuration on paper is nearly identical. I mounted these two phones to our thingamajig and started snapping pictures. Again, these pictures were taken on a very gloomy day and it already started to rain when I was about to go out and take the pictures and videos. I can tell you right now, in terms of outdoor shots, these two phones do look good. Truth to be told, I don't have a clear preference on which phone looks better. Some shots look better on the Galaxy S21 Ultra due to a more natural look, but some shots look better on the Galaxy S22 Ultra with its more dynamic and dramatic contrast. One thing I can confirm though is that the zoom shots are arguably better on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. As for the indoor shots, I took pictures of the dogs, but they are always moving around, so it's quite impossible to take the exact same pictures on both phones. I tried to match it and I realized the Galaxy S22 Ultra's shot is much more natural and closer to what I see with my own two eyes. I also realized that the Galaxy S21 Ultra tends to bump up the exposure a little bit more to make it look brighter than the Galaxy S22 Ultra. As a quick mention, the portrait mode on the Galaxy S22 Ultra is also much sharper and the age detection on the dog's fur is much more accurate to the point that I can see strands of hair poking out, which is not visible on the Galaxy S21 Ultra. That is actually quite a huge improvement. For the night shots, I also realized that the Galaxy S22 Ultra is triggering night mode a lot more often compared to the Galaxy S21 Ultra. When I pointed both the phones at the same scene, Galaxy S22 Ultra says night mode, but the Galaxy S21 Ultra says no. To make this comparison fair, I toggled night mode on the Galaxy S21 Ultra too, and this is where the clear differences start to show. For whatever reason, the Galaxy S21 Ultra tends to overexpose some of the night shots. I mean, if you look at this picture without any context, you can immediately tell that it's not realistic. The Galaxy S22 Ultra on the other hand looks believable. Another thing that I found out is that the 10x zoom at night also looks cleaner on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, but for some reason, the 100 times zoom shots at night on the Galaxy S22 Ultra is super noisy, just like my neighbors. I presume that is because the Galaxy S22 Ultra is still new and a lot more work needs to be done in terms of optimizing the camera to work better with the new ISP on the chipset. I also tried Expert RAW mode for a little while on these two phones, and I just left everything on auto, though the processing on the Expert RAW app is different from the usual camera app. The results are pretty similar to what we saw before. The Galaxy S22 Ultra is much more contrasty, and we'll leave the Expert RAW conversation for another day because this is an entirely topic that I think it deserves a video of its own. And I also quickly want to breeze through selfie shots, and as you can see here, the colors and particularly the skin tones on the Galaxy S22 Ultra are also much better. For selfie videos, I recorded this. But what about selfie video recording then? Well, as you can see, I got both phones set up right now. The framing is a bit weird because I need to get both phones in the same shot, so yeah. But anyway, I hope you can hear me clearly because it's very windy right now. It's about to rain and there are kids screaming at the back. So yeah, this is the comparison of the selfie video. Both of them are recorded in 4K 60 FPS by the way. It's just that you are watching in 1080p 60 FPS. So yeah, let's just test the dynamic range for a second. So behind me here is dark. It's actually quite good. Both phones are quite good in terms of dynamic range. I'm surprised. The microphones on the Galaxy S21 Ultra doesn't sound as good. So I think that's because there are some dust or lint just clogging up the microphone a little bit, which might have affected the microphone quality. So take that with a grain of salt. And then testing the stability of the rear-facing cameras when it comes to recording a video. In broad daylight, the Galaxy S22 Ultra is obviously better and it manages to iron out some of the little jitters on the Galaxy S21 Ultra. The details and colors also look better on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And then when the night came, I took the same video again, and this is where the Galaxy S22 shines the most. The noise level, stabilization, and even the colors are just unbelievably good on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. So great job there, Samsung. Okay, so enough about the cameras. Now it comes to the battery life and also the efficiency between these two devices. I have already spoiled the surprise in our Galaxy S22 Ultra review, but I'll just mention it again here. The Galaxy S21 Ultra was my daily driver for 8 months last year, but it manages to outperform the Galaxy S22 Ultra in our battery life test. I think we'll have to wait for new software updates to further optimize the Galaxy S22's chipset and also efficiency, but as of now, I'm just very disappointed with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 in the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now as for the charging time, Samsung said that the Galaxy S22 Ultra has gone back up to 45 watts as compared to 25 watts on the Galaxy S21 Ultra. But I couldn't prove this since our charger only reported 28 watts on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Someone in the comments said that it's because our charger didn't support Super Fast Charging 2.0 standard. However, Sam Mobile published a video where they did a charging test instead, and they have the true Super Fast Charging 2.0 charger. Even though our testing methodology isn't the same, I compared it alongside with our data and found out that the charging speed doesn't actually change that much after all. I also compared our Galaxy S22 Ultra charging test with the Galaxy S21 Ultra's charging test that we got from a year ago, and we found out that the Galaxy S22 Ultra is indeed faster. To me, fast charging standard isn't always about reaching 100% the fastest, it's more about which devices can reach 50% mark faster. And so that's it, that's our comparison between the Galaxy S21 Ultra and the Galaxy S22 Ultra. On paper, these two devices are very similar, but in truth, they are very different. Many things can't be told through words, which is why I hope this video conveyed the differences between these two phones effectively. So one last thing that I want to highlight though is that if you want to get the S Pen for the Galaxy S21 Ultra, it's actually much more expensive because you have to buy the case and also the pen separately, which kinda adds up to the price of the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And that is all we have to share with you about these two phones. So if you have any other additional questions, leave them down in the comment section below. We'll answer them whenever we can, and we'll see you guys in the next video.